Hey you guys, so today I thought we could just do a little bit of a fall makeup tutorial. Nothing too groundbreaking. We're going to be working with some warm tones today. I wanted to try out the new Tartelette Toasted Palette, and I've got some other new products here as well to show you guys. Without any further ado, I think we can just jump right into it. Don't mind my crinkled background. It's chill. Okay, so I've already applied my skincare and stuff like that, but I'm going to try this Glossier Priming Moisturizer. I just got this in the mail from Glossier the other day. I like the idea of something that is more a moisturizer than a primer. You guys may know I'm not a huge fan of primers. There's been a few throughout the years that I haven't minded and that I felt have done a little bit for me, but for the most part, I just feel like primers don't make enough of a difference for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember to use that every day. So I'm gonna try this one out. I just hope that it makes me a dewy queen. Next, I'm gonna be using the NARS Velvet Matte Foundation Sticks. I'm going to be using a little bit of Siberia and a little bit of Fiji. Siberia because it's nice and light, but it still has that more yellow undertone, which is what I'm looking for. But I'm mixing in a little bit of Fiji, which has a little bit more peach to it, just because I think this is a little too yellow. So I'm just gonna swipe on a little bit of that. Like, see how yellow that is on my skin? Goodness gracious. I've actually been using this, I got it in the mail last week, and I've probably used it about 3 or 4 times now, and I actually really like it. It's not very matte, but you guys know I'm about that life. A lot of times when products are called matte on the label, I'll go to swatch them and like you can tell it's going to be matte. Like it looks really, really dry and it kind of settles into my fine lines on my hands even. But this one just looked super, super creamy and dewy, and I was like, I think that might not be matte. I would say that the finish is more natural, I guess, as opposed to being super dewy or super matte, but I just feel like it blends out really, really nicely. It doesn't feel super heavy on the skin, which a lot of the times those kind of creamy stick foundations can feel quite heavy and cakey, and they can build up in a way that isn't so nice. I would say it has like medium to full coverage. It does do a pretty good job of covering like my redness, and it starts covering my acne for sure. I think I'm gonna be going in with a secondary concealer because I picked up a new one anyways, but it does seem to show through a little bit of redness from my breakouts, which I have a couple going on right now. Next, I'm just gonna go in with my Burberry Concealer underneath my eyes. For those of you that have been asking me, no, I don't like the Burberry Concealer more than the Tom Ford Concealer. It's just a temporary replacement until Tom Ford comes back in stock. I do like the Burberry Concealer, but it definitely hasn't surpassed my love for the Tom Ford one. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and spot conceal with this concealer from RMS Beauty. I was in Sephora the other day, still on a no-buy. And I believe that the only thing they had stocked from this brand was the concealers. I didn't see anything else sitting there. But it just looked super nice and like glowy and creamy when I swatched on my hand, and it seemed like they had a shade that had like good yellow tone to it, so I wanted to try it out. So here we are. Uh-oh, is this gonna be too light? Damn it. I may have played myself, you guys. I'll tell you, the move has not been good on my breakouts. This has been a real struggle for me so far. So I'm just applying this with a little kind of pointed pencil brush, and then I'm blending it out with my pinky finger. The thing that I struggle with the most with applying additional concealer on top of my breakouts is that my breakouts personally tend to look quite dry, and so anytime that I go in with extra concealer, it's almost like just caking concealer on this like super dry, patchy part of my skin, and then it looks even worse and the texture looks even more pronounced, and it's kind of just like, I'd rather just have a little bit of redness showing through than have it look like super cakey, basically. But the thing that I liked about this is that it looked almost like a moisturizer in a way when I had applied it on my hand. Like it just had that really kind of creamy glow to it. So I actually think that it looks quite nice over top of my breakouts. Like it doesn't look too dry or anything, but we'll just see how it sits on the skin, and I'll update you guys. All right, I'm gonna quickly jump off and do my brows and my eye primer, and then we will jump back into it. Okay, so I already have my eye primer down and a base shadow as well, just any shadow that matches my skin tone. Come My brow just going out of fucking control. I'm gonna start by applying my Nudestix Magnetic Matte Eye Color in the color Fig. And I'm going to run that along my waterline and into the inner corner, and then just really getting it between my lashes. And then I'm gonna take my Smith 230 brush and I'm just going to buff that out. Then I'm gonna grab the color Fireside, and I'm just taking that on my Marc Jacobs crease brush. Oh God, this brush is the worst. Just kidding, I'm gonna grab the Marc Jacobs smudge brush, and I'm going to first take it under my lower lash line. And then I'm going to really pack on color on that outer corner, bringing it in a little bit farther than I normally do, almost to create kind of like a smoky liner effect. And you can place that brush first where you want the most deposit of product, so probably towards that outer corner, and then kind of just dot your brush closer inwards when you have less product on it. I'm gonna pick up that same Nudestix color Fig on this Sigma LO5 brush, and I'm just grabbing it kind of on the corner of the brush like that, and then I'm using it almost as a liner brush. I just want something that's like a little bit bigger and a little bit less precise than a traditional liner brush, but will still get into my inner corner well, just because I'm going to be smoking out this liner anyways. And then grabbing that same smudger brush and that color Fireside, I'm just going to dot that over top to deepen it up and smoke it out. To blend this out, I'm gonna start with the color Cozy, and I'm just taking that on my Smith 230 brush as well, and I'm kind of just going right over top of where we applied the first color and just starting to blend it away. Whenever I'm going for a super smoky under eye, I usually just take the brush that I used to do my concealer with, and I'll kind of just help to blend and buff that away and make sure that there's no patchiness going on. Then I'm going to jump to a slightly bigger blending brush and the color Latte. So I'm just using my Smith 232 for this, and I'm just picking up that lighter color as a transition and really buffing out all our edges here. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that color Fireside, the first one, the dark one that we started with, and I'm just going to blend a little bit more of it on that outer corner just to really make it nice and dark and dramatic. Then I'm gonna grab the color Flame, and I'm just taking that on my little nubbin finger and applying it all over the lid. Again, putting your finger down first where you want the heaviest deposit of color, and then I just kind of tap once I get to those outer edges to help blend it away. And you can also take a clean finger or a brush, whatever you're using, and blend out those edges. Don't worry about covering your liner, we can go over it again. Feels counterproductive, I know. Then I'm gonna pick up the color Candle, and I'm just grabbing some of this on my finger as well and going over top of that first color, just kind of mixing those tones together, because we can. This shade I found to be a little bit chunkier, so it almost works better to use with your finger because it helps to sort of blend out those big chunky glitter pieces, whereas a brush would mostly just drop them all over and give you way more fallout than we're currently getting. Anything that has a little bit of a chunky glitter is always a lot easier to apply with your fingers. Then I'm just grabbing the color Sunrise on a clean blending brush. I'm dotting that right onto my inner corner. So now we can take that original color Fireside, that dark color, and just go back over and make that liner nice and smoky again. And then I'll just kind of dot over with my finger to sort of blend the two colors together and make it a little bit of a smoother gradient. Next, I'm going to be applying my lashes. I'm using a Flutter Lashes in the style Royalty. Should be about dry. These lashes are so nice. They're quite a bit more dramatic than what I've been up to lately, but I don't know, man, there's just something about them. They're really pretty. So this is the final look. Okay, for contour, we're going to try and use Dusk from this Anastasia blush kit in Gradient. And I'm just gonna pick it up right on the heel of that brush there. I was kind of worried this looks like a little bit muddy brown in the pan, but it's actually applying quite nicely. I have absolutely no tan left on my body, as I have not had time to go tanning. And it's bad for your skin, so you shouldn't anyways, right? But because of that, I've been having problems with my regular contours, the one that I would normally use, just because I find that they all kind of complement me a little bit better when I have more of a tan. So I've been reaching for slightly more cool tone shades. I'm gonna take the tiniest little dab ever of chocolate here. Dab. Just for a little bit more warmth. And I'm just really blending that out. Then I'm gonna dip into the Sugar Glow Kit from Anastasia as well. I think I'm gonna use, I was kind of looking at like butterscotch, but I'm also kind of thinking about marshmallow. Didn't they have one called marshmallow already? Didn't they have one called butterscotch already? It's all a blur, truly. I'm gonna dip back and forth between marshmallow and butterscotch. It's been a minute since I've used powder highlights. I just feel like powder highlight is the absolute quickest route to making my skin look so unbelievably textured. I just feel like powder highlight amplifies any moderate to mild texture so quickly. I'm gonna put this Tatcha spray on because I feel like today could be a little bit more luxurious. Oh, it's almost as if I didn't just go through a move and an accident. Oh yeah, I got into a minor car accident. I'm fine, everyone's fine. But this creepy guy tried to get my number in the midst of it, and I was not impressed. I think I'm just gonna use my lip gloss from Marc Jacobs in the color Sugar Sugar. Alright you guys, so that's everything for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something cool today. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below. I do have the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette now. I got Prism. Man, I got it all. You just let me know what you want, baby. Alright guys, peace out.